Hello, SpeedGaming. Welcome to an exciting match of the Hybrid Major Glitches 2025 tournament. This is an upper bracket round 3 match, and it's also game 3 between Chexhuman and Bread-kun. My name is JD Silvergun. I will be your commentator and tracker for this race. And I'm going to do my best, but please feel free to help me out in the chat if I miss something. Should be getting started in just a second. Chex had to restart his console because of an MSU thing, but we should be getting started any moment here. And for those that do not know, what Hybrid Major Glitches means is that our racers are allowed to do a lot of clipping and a few other glitches, and the logic does account for this, so some things can be in some slightly unusual places. And it looks like we're going to get started. So Chex with the Sanctuary start, and Bread with the Link's House start, and we see we have a pendant. Bread scouting the island sees that it's nothing, and he decides to go to Sahasrara. Okay. Money and heart containers are good for starting out. They are not progression though. And Chex is going to look at the lumberjack. Just a heart container there, so no need for Aghanim 1 today. Right, Bread-kun with a very early trip into Kakariko today. Okay, Moon Pearl in blind. I'm a bit surprised both of them are doing this early town play. In glitched modes, people generally try to put this off because there's so many places we can go. But there's no right or wrong, whatever works. Thank you for that. I did miss that, bottle. Okay. And a shovel in the chicken house. Oh, it was a blue potion in a bottle as well in the Lost Woods. That's very handy. You might see some fake fluting routing. Always very interesting and fun. Hard to container in the library. We're having a very healthy seed for sub 5 minutes. The sick kid is another blue potion. Very interesting. Hookshot on the race game. Save and quit. Interesting. So we're not checking the shovel, we're not checking anything desert related. This is pretty unorthodox, but glad to see how that goes. With just a heart piece on the desert ledge, and checks going into the dungeon itself. They're not finding any items other than dungeon items yet. Bread also decides to check the lumberjack. Have to imagine we're going to do a DMA here for Death Mountain Ascent. Alright, checks finds 50 rupees in the key chest in desert. Glove on Spectacle Rock for bread. A very helpful item. Okay, hard container in the desert big chest for checks, so that is both items. And I think that was just a heart piece inside Spectacle Rock Cave for bread, who is now rescuing the old man. Some riveting darkroom footage on the right. K45 for checks. Just a piece of heart. Have to imagine we're going to check the shovel. Yep. Okay, just bombs on the old man today, but still. Oh, and a hammer at the flute location for checks. So, wonder when Bread is going to get back to that area. The unorthodox save and quit after checking the race game item. Means he's putting off this area until later, but as a graveyard ledge descent and not finding anything other than bombs, X hops back over the wall for Agina's cave. Oh, I missed it, but he must have done the Tomb Raider on Bread's side to get into King's Tomb. And we have a fire rod. Okay, back of escape for Bread. Checks going to the South Shore area. See ether in the dam chest, and the map is in the back of escape. So, a little bit more value in the front, perhaps. Half magic in the sunken treasure location. Definitely a nice item to have. Bread is going to show us Hera. Find some rupees. And the big key. So we are not locked out today. But Bread does not have a weapon to kill the boss with. I mean, granted, obviously we could Hera Pod as well if he had a weapon, but that is not in the logic. It is a little bit unusual that the big key is accessible in this mode. Chex doing the quote-unquote new DMA to get into the Old Man Rescue Cave. Nothing in Spiral Cave for Bread-kun. Chex going into Hera. And Bread-kun in the 5-item room in Paradox. So far, not finding anything. Just a lot of money. And some bombs, which we were already full on. So, Chex deciding to clear the dungeon, not surprising, given that we have the hammer, excuse me. We see a book in the compass chest, and the compass in the big chest. Alright, Moldorm fight for Chex. Very good. Nice quick fight. Alright, so we got both items out of Hera. They were rupees and the book. We do not have a small key, which the reason why that might be relevant is because it's a shortcut to get into Swamp. The logic of this mode, 9 times out of 10, will expect you to use a small key from Mire to open the front door of Swamp. And we see that the ice rod is on the ether tablet, so that is very good information for later. Although we don't actually know what the Dark World crystal pendant layout is, but we'll find out soon enough. We see a sword in Ice Rod Cave, on Bread's side. The flute is in the waterfall cave for Bread-kun. That is okay. The bonking on a water walk makes me nervous, but it wasn't an issue this time. Alright, checks into Paradox, going to get all his bombs and rupees. On Zora, on Bread's side, we have a very poor return, a single rupee. I have to imagine Bread is going to activate the flute, or maybe not. Could choose to do it later. We could get the old fake flute, fake light world, flute activation. Okay, into the dark world. Green pendant pod and pendant swamp. Well, pendant swamp is kind of an unfortunate thing for hybrid major glitches. Well, at least from a spectator perspective. For the runners, it's great. Alright, Super Bunny Cave on Bread's side, we have a mushroom and flippers. Okay, so swamp being a pendant, but perhaps the game is wanting us to go there anyway at some point. Because flippers are not really logically required for anything else in this mode, because fake flippering is in logic. The check's also going to the dark world. Bombos in Hookshot Cave. Check's going to the left side. This is the bumper ledge DMD. This is glitched 100% vanilla tech, and I personally like this little trip. And he decides to pick up the item anyway, but... Oh, we're getting Scudge Woods from Bread-kun. This is a classic Super Scudge map rap. It's a little bit dangerous, but yeah, he's very careful. Doesn't have any issues. But both converging on Skullwoods from opposite sides of the map. Very interesting. So far, no one finding anything. Oh, I missed where Chuck's got that Burna. Alright, so Bread is going for the boss, and this fight is, well, half magic. Makes it less bad, but definitely not the most friendly loadout for this fight. Okay, thank you for that correction in chat. I missed that. Alright, Bread taking down the boss. Very nice. Big key on the boss, so... Gonna have to go back and check that out. And Chex is leaving. Hey, just bombs in Sea House for Chex. A piece of heart in the big chest. Chex into Thieves Town. Finds a piece of heart in the first chest. That's one of our 4 items here. We see a sword in the next chest. Very nice. Alright, so Chex going to the back. Not surprising. Bread-kun goes up to check the bumper ledge, then decides to head back to town. Okay, just a map in the attic, so we're still looking for 2 items here in Thieves Town. Just 5 rupees in the brewery on Bread-kun's side. Bread-kun following Chex into Thieves Town. Picking up a sword upgrade. Okay. A bottle with a green potion in the maiden cell. And compass in the big chest, so the boss is going to have an item today. Chex getting trolled by the berry on the conveyor. Very classic. Oh yeah, sorry, my mistake. I forgot that Chex doesn't have the fire rod because that was in King's Tomb. That was one of our slight divergences. Apologize for that. And just 20 rupees on the boss, but it is a crystal. So Chex is going for hammer pegs. Meanwhile, Bread-kun is continuing to finish clearing Thieves' Town. Just a shield inside the hammer peg cave. Only having fighter sword. Chex has to do a bomb to do this escape. But the hammer was at the flute location, so whenever Bread-kun does the desert and like shovel area, K45 and all that, Bread will also get the hammer. Alright. So Bread has also defeated Blind. Second crystal on the board. X into Mireshed. Another sword is here. Alright. Pretty comfy. Now, I missed what the medallion was, unfortunately. I'll try to catch it on Bread's side. We know that the dig game is just going to be 10 arrows. Stumpy, just a piece of heart today. Okay, Bombos. Alright, so I have to imagine Chex will get that eventually, since it's just in Hookshot Cave. Alright, Hype Cave, it has Piece of Heart. Piece of Heart. Piece of Heart again. Shield. And another sword. Alright, super comfy seat, sword-wise. Alright, I think this is going to be pyramid check for Chex. Both the ledge and the pyramid fairy. This is a setup called Zero Mid to do this swim clip setup. Zero Mid after the runner, Zero Rush. Alright, just a blue mail and a piece of heart in the pyramid fairy. And decides to save and quit. Makes sense. And Bread does not have the hammer, so has to clip to get out of here. I'm a little surprised we're doing this instead of the standard fought, but this works too, or it can work. Alright, Check's going back for the ice rod, which we do know we need now. Alright, so Check's presumably going to get Bombos in Hookshot Cave. And Bread decides to activate the flute. So surely now Bread is going to go for the desert area. Hammer for Bread. Catfish and DMD on Chex's side. Mitts on the Catfish. So that is a logical entry to Ice Palace and the Smith Chain. Alright, checkerboard on Bread's side. This is new. Just a male upgrade, but he decides to take it. Spike K for Chex. Just a piece of art. Alright, Ganon's Tower Dip for Chex. While Bread is clearing out desert, we know from checks earlier that there are no items here. It was only junk. But it is a crystal, so it's good to do this. Right, Samaria in the Stalfos room, the so-called Dark Magician's room, for checks. This mode loves to put progression in Ganon's Tower for whatever reason. So this potentially could be a bowless seed. I mean, it's logically required for the climb, but it's not actually required if you want to, you know, put the effort to mimic clip. A big key in the Fire Snake's room for checks. Bread going to the back of desert. Going to take out the boss. Alright, nothing helpful in Rando room for checks. So surely there's just gonna be a bow here, right? So Chex doesn't have to think twice about climbing. Right. Bread defeats Lamolas. Going to take a slight lead here with 3 crystals. Alright, so nothing behind ice armors, so we're gonna go check the big chest and presumably the right side as well. Lamp in the big chest, that's kind of funny. Alright, bread into Hera. We're thinking. Hopefully nothing's wrong. Hopefully no comment in the race room, so I don't know if Bread is having an issue or not. So Chex is doing tile room. Very, riveting, everyone's favorite. Hope everything's okay with Bread-kun. I see the cape is in tile room. Oh yeah, Chex, right, not having the fire rod, decides not to do the right side. The bomb jump is quite slow. I don't blame him at all. The book was in the top of Hera. Well, Chex did find the lamp. I think not having a bow might have been more of an issue. I'm sure Chex knows how to mimic clip, but it's really annoying, and you have to do it twice in Ganon's Tower. But the lamp was in the Ganon's Tower big chest, though. Yes, it is possible to mimic clip both rooms. There's only 2, there aren't any, later on. They're just in the 3rd floor. But you do have to do it twice because there's 2 rooms with them. So Brad has resumed playing, which I'm glad. I hope everything's okay. There was no explanation for the pause. And Chex is in Ice Palace. Showed us a nice clip through the wall. Yeah, I agree with not climbing. I wouldn't personally be in a hurry to mimic clip unless it was the last thing to do and you had not found a bow anywhere. So, Bread-kun defeats Moldarm, gets another crystal. About to get his ice rod here. I missed what was in most of the chests in Ice Palace, so I apologize for that. So we know that Fire Rod is not here, which is important. That's in King's Tomb. A big key in the freezer room. So the big chest has a small key. I think there's an item on the boss, but I honestly totally lost track here. A bread into GT. A very, very nice fight from Chex. And we see that there is a bow on the boss. So, Chex is not going to have to worry about any mimic clipping today. Telethar in chat with the info on the timing of doing the bomb jump. Thank you for that. Well, maybe it's just my perception. One of those feels worse than it is. I also just don't like doing that, but some people are quite good at it, though, to be fair. And some people can even just hover it, which actually I think, like, the bomb jump itself... I don't know. The movement is also not free, depending on the spike location. It's a little bit tricky to do the correct movement after the bomb jump as well. So it's a little bit of a tricky thing to do, but some people are quite good at it though. Alright, so Bread is considering himself fully in go mode without a bow, it appears, with that save and quit. This Fire Rod is in a pretty unfortunate spot for Chex, just because King's Tomb is kind of a one-off. And there's still a lot of other places Chex has not been that might feel like looking. Looks like we're gonna get a overworld YBA from Bread. I don't know why else we are setting up over here with no mirror, but... So if this is not a YBA you can retry. Like, if you fail it, it will hard lock the game, or you drink the potion. Well, I guess technically you could retry it if you have 2 potions. And it looks like maybe we don't remember quite exactly the setup, or it was just a mistake. There is another way into Ice Palace without mitts or mirror, just using the flippers and a bunch of screen wrapping. This... I honestly don't remember how to do this YBA because I don't do it anymore, but there is a way. And I don't think this is it. And Bread does not think so either, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Chex has been climbing GT. Pretty uneventful climb. I wonder if Bread is going to try to set this YBA up again, or just going to go for the flipper wrap. Yeah, they're going for the YBA again. Like I said, I don't remember how to do this. Like, some years ago I did, but it's just not a thing that usually people go for. Like, it can be faster than the flipper's entry, but not if you have trouble setting it up like this, though. So it's just gonna be a question of when does Chex do King's Tomb? And has Bread donated enough time, both with this struggle? Nice clipe by Chex, saved a few seconds by skipping the bat flapping around cutscene. So the Bread took a little break earlier, and not sure what that was about. And also is now having a lot of trouble with this Ice Palace entry, so giving a lot of potential time for Chex to find. I think that we got it here. That looks good. Yep. The third try's the charm. Alright, bomb clip through the wall, as we would expect to see in this mode. Or some kind of clip in that room anyway. Doesn't have to be a bomb clip. Okay, Chex going back to desert. Or going to Bombo's tablet. That's an interesting way to go there. I've never done that method myself. Chex finding a second bow. Not what we needed, but you know, it's not nothing. Okay, Chex passing on the red mail, not surprising at all. Oh, Bread is going to be rewarded for skipping out on GT because of getting the bow on this boss. I don't know if there is a good time for Chex to go there. If he has not done Graveyard Ledge, that would be something to pair it with, which I honestly can't remember if he did. There was nothing there, but he might pair it with the mushroom, but I also can't see that particularly being a priority. Okay, both runners taking down their respective bosses. Bread-kun taking down Cold Stare, getting a bow. Chex completes Desert. It looks like we're getting the ice rod. Oh, nope, never mind. False alarm. We're just using the portal. For some reason, I thought he was going to do the map wrap, something that is seen in vanilla RMG speedruns. It looks like both runners converging on Meyer. Alright, Brad, having a little bit of trouble with this Meyer too. So even though it does look like Brad has more progress, the Chex having the GT clear is a pretty significant chunk of time, so it's by no means over yet, but it does look to be advantage to Brad right now. It's a little unfortunate that not having the fire rod is costing more time here as well with this room. Or these two rooms, I should say. It's not even a vanilla big key. It's... I think that's the map chest, I guess? Did we not check the lobby yet? Yeah, it's in like the worst possible location. Or no, or did we already have... Chex is acting like he already has the big key, maybe I missed it. But then I don't know why Bread-kun would continue. Oh, okay. Maybe he just forgot. Yes, that's correct. There is no deleting doors and no flying through. We do go through walls on occasion, but the only big key that can really be skipped. You could skip like the Hera big key, the Swamp big key, or potentially like the Pod big key in rare cases. Although there's not really a reason to do that outside of like a key sanity, which is not normally seen for hybrid major glitches. Then again, I suppose you could skip the Hera big key in like most any mode, so that's not super remarkable, but for those that aren't aware, like the rules basically are no door glitches, no wrong warps, and no misslotting. And misslotting is like hook pushing, the overworld conveyor, things like that. And the door glitches are like YBAs, bomb jukes. We do allow YBAs on the overworld specifically, but not in actual doors though. And no Samaria glitches either, not indoors anyway, I mean. Wondering where Chex is off to. It looks like we're doing Ice Rod Cave Zora, which fortunately is not going to be helpful. This will get him a sword and a flute, which are not things that are required. Bread showing us some overworld clipping to get into the middle of Turtle Rock. And that specifically getting in through the middle is in logic in this mode. But getting in through the back is not in logic, but there are a couple ways that it can be done that are allowed within the rules, though. Brad getting trolled by all those enemies. Alright, Bread needs this to be a small key to continue, otherwise we'll have to either go to the front and get one, or just exit and enter through the back. Okay, and it is a small key. Oh no, Chex is going to pod, no. I mean, logically this makes sense, it is a dense area. But unfortunately we know this is not going to be the answer. And yes, mirror wrap is the common way that people like to get to the back of Turtle Rock directly. There also is a way that you can do it without the mirror, which is just a bunch of clipping and screen wrapping. So once again, though, this is an upper bracket match. So whoever loses is not going to be out of the tournament by any means. This is round 3 upper bracket. Just a reminder. Alright, Bread defeating Trinex. Just has to climb GT. So Chex clearing out pod, not really finding anything. Not sure what we could even find. A mirror would maybe speed some things up here. Finding a boomerang though. Well, it looks like Chex is going to show us a basement clip just for fun. I was not certain he was going to actually go for the boss anyway, but this is one of the ways that you are allowed to get there in this mode. This is a pretty involved clip. It's a lot of steps. It involves a lot of small adjustments, so this is a teleport setup. And it looks like he unfortunately got 2 frames instead of 1 on that last buffer, which means we have to do this again. Okay, and now this is the rail clip part. We repeat a few steps over and over, which works us deeper into the rail. And I'm a little concerned about this turtle. Should be fine. Yeah, once you repeat these few motions a few times, you'll be deep enough where you can bomb yourself farther into the rail and dash through. Like so. Oh, nicely done by Chex. Alright, Bread has reached the top of the tower. Chex gets a green pendant for his trouble. With regards to the basement clip, it can be faster. It just depends. The fact there's 2 things. He already was in the back of the dungeon, and the other thing is that the wall moving cutscene is extremely slow, and it also skips a few rooms after that. So the world record of all dungeons restricted major glitches does do this clip, and they do it twice. Once because you have to open the door to skip the big key. Well, the speedrun just works in a different way that not related to randomizer, but the second time when they go to kill the boss, they do the clip. Because while moving cutscenes are actually that slow, but it does require that you be good at the clip. It's not free. And yes, he did second try the teleport, so that was a little unfortunate. And it's also unfortunate that we didn't go to King's Tomb. It must have just slipped his mind, but that's unfortunate. But it would have been too late anyway, though, unfortunately, but it feels less bad if you at least find your go mode before your opponent finishes. So, Bread onto the Ganon fight. Gonna be very, very simple with Gold Sword. A double tap fire rod on the torch glitch, just to make sure. Alright, so it's 12 spins to win if you have Tempered or Gold Sword. So, Bread just gonna finish up here. Alright. Bread just needs to cross the gap and is going to be the winner of tonight's race and this match. So please get our GG's in chat for Bread. Our official winner with a time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 4 seconds. A very fast seed. And it was well played. We'll see about getting him in for an interview. I believe Chex does not look at the race room while racing, so probably he's not aware that his opponent has finished, but that's fine. We can cheer him on. Oh, I forgot to mark the... Sorry. Trying to do too many things at once. Alright, now let's see about getting Brad in for an interview. We are joined by Bread-kun.
Hello.
Tonight's race. Congratulations.
Yeah, something IRL happened that I had to step away in Hera, and then failing Ice Palace like twice in a row. because I forgot the one important crucial step of doing the YBA method. Felt really bad. But okay, look at the stream. Chex doesn't have fire rod. Okay, you know what? When I pulled that fire rod, I kind of had a feeling that he may not have it for a bit, because the weird way I routed just
It
let
looks
me
like
going.
he's
Oh,
about to right now, because Chex did find the
yeah.
mitts, so this is easy. He does not need to do like a special DMD or a Tomb Raider.
Mm.
Although it's
I just
looking like
happened to
Tomb Raider is
route
a
it.
pretty big thing in this mode.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just
I
if
did it
you
anyway.
like if I just happen to be there, it's like, well, I just I don't know. I just happened to route up there with the hook in hand because I decided, you know what, this time I'm just gonna go to CAC first instead of doing the mountain every time, because I hate dealing with the mountain with like no equipment. I'll just do CAC first, come back to the mountain with like a sword or something, probably.
Yeah, well, I hope everything's okay regarding whatever it was
Oh
that
no,
interrupted.
it's fine.
I was debating of saying something in the race room, but I didn't want to give, like, potential information to check, so I thought it was not appropriate to say anything, but, yeah, we were
Mm-hmm.
definitely wondering about that. So,
It is
uh,
all good.
oh yeah, I was gonna say, so you did a little bit of unorthodox routing, like you were just saying, like not just going to town early. You went to town early, and then you didn't even follow it up with desert. Let's see. Like usually
Yeah, I mean the
people
main
all
reason is I messed up when I clipped up the hook shot. I messed up and I got stuck, so I left. I'm like, I'll just screw it. I'll just come back to desert. I'll just
okay,
come
well
back to
that
desert
makes a lot
later
more
and clear
sense.
it.
I totally missed that detail. Doing double duty here is I find it
Yeah,
a
no,
bit
that's fair.
challenging, as I think most people would.
Yeah, I imagine.
But yeah, that fire rod was a big deal, not just because it was in kind of a random, like, one-off location, but you both actually converged on Skullwoods at the same time. When you were doing Scudgewoods, he was doing a bumper ledge DMD, and then you both ended up in Skullwoods, but he didn't have the fire rod or a sword,
Mm-hmm.
so had no way to access the boss, so that was another thing, like, left behind, and, obviously doing Pod and Eastern and the Seed wasn't gonna help him, but
Yeah. Was the mitts over
but
there?
the mitts were on Catfish actually.
Okay, yeah. The one downside to Scudgewooding is just, well, I hope catfish is nothing. But like, man, with that loadout, like, oh, I can go to East Mountain, do everything, Scudgewoods, beat Skullwoods, run down, just like loop everything in just one little thing. Like, I couldn't, I couldn't resist doing that. That was great.
Yeah, and it definitely worked out in your favor. Leaving Ganon's tower as soon as you found the big key. And then you got rewarded with a bow on the way anyway, so... 'Cause I figured you would
Yeah,
have mimic clipped if you had to.
yeah, for sure. I was definitely prepared to just mimic clip it, but I figured like, I still have other dungeons to do, and yeah, I might just find a bow while I'm doing the dungeons. And turns out, yeah, you just get a bow on the way. Cool. And then if not, oh well. Going back up to GT and climbing it, it's like it's pretty much a wash, I think. Instead of just like say clearing it then, and then with like flute and everything, just clearing it, going back the hole that way.
So the lamp was actually in the big chest, but obviously, you know, not a required thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was in GT. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, basically, just for Skullwoods and the sea. That's, or sorry, not Skull. Mire. That's like the only place where it actually would have done anything, and even then, like with the bonking hookshot method, just makes that dark room kind of free anyway. So no biggie.
Yeah, I mean, if you've done Dark Mire enough times, especially with a decent loadout, like you said, you shouldn't lose too much time over just having the lane. But like, it's just rare that you get to skip out on so many of the GT checks in this mode.
Yeah. It is rare, but like Samaria Go. Okay, I honestly feel like I've seen Samaria Go mode so many times in HMG. I don't know what it is about Samaria being Go mode so often.
It doesn't lock that much in this mode. Like in a No Glitches seed, you can't even do anything at all in TRs, and so No Glitches modes tend to have like a lot of stuff on Laser Bridge, like a late bow, flippers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't lock too much in this mode.
Yeah, because it's just front and. I mean, logically, it's gonna lock the back of TR anyway, because there's gonna be at least one key in the front.
Now, I do agree with the decision to leave GT as soon as you got the big key. I just thought, I was just like,
yeah.
Wow, you don't see this kind of play often. You don't get the chance to see that kind of play often.
Mm-hmm. I mean, especially without mirror, it's like if I had mirror in that scenario, I maybe would have just climbed it and just gotten it out of the way right then and there. But I mean, otherwise, it's just setting up a stupid death warp.
Yeah,
better to just save quit right there.
Anywhere, because Chex, I feel like he would have used it in this dungeon if he had it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like Chex has it. Which it sounds like Chex kind of went most places. Maybe Chex just didn't go to Swamp.
Yes. It was just nobody went to Swamp in this seed.
Honestly, I was kind of expecting Swamp to become a factor because flippers are so early and Mire access is so early. I was almost expecting like Swamp is going to have something in there.
Yeah, they did give you those flippers, which, you know, were logically required for nothing. So Chex just has to do Mothula and then run to Ganon, so it should only be a few minutes left.
Yeah. Chex does get the really cool route of just TR straight into Scudgewoods, which, like, Scudgewoods isn't that dangerous, but it is still just slightly worrying when you have, like, a whole dungeon clear under your belt. You're potentially risking.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful.
Yeah, like,
just don't go too far.
Aren't that bad, but yeah, if you get, I guess, saving grace is if you go too far, just save quit. Just don't touch anything. Save quit.
Yeah, don't try to go in the door if you go even 1 pixel past the door. I don't think we saw any fake fluting from either of you either, despite the 2 blue potions that were found. Nice kill. It's annoying to do that fight with beams coming in.
Oh yeah, I honestly, if I come in with beams, I just take a hit from the spike before I drop down. I'd rather just drop the beams before I go into the fight.
Yep. Yeah, that is 7 crystals for Chex, so I'm just gonna run out of here. Someone has timed this before. This is actually not as slow as it looks, apparently, versus saving and quitting. I don't know.
Really?
Well, Chex
yeah, I guess I did see
the flute. Or activated, I mean.
I also wonder what would be the speed versus just like save quit Link's house and just run it from there. Yeah, there's like a couple screen transitions, which is annoying. Yeah, this is just basically more or less, yeah, how you access Haggard Tower. Except you just go in the hole instead, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the thing is, you need to make sure you don't move the camera in a certain way because that
Like that.
happens. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think you just want to hit left and up. I actually don't remember. It's been quite a while since I did that, but
Yeah, it's like
you
kind
hit
of like
left
a
and up or right.
rare route that's to take in the hole, at least in this mode.
Well, if you don't have, like, hammer or glove or something, like if you're coming off the mountain, that's normally the way you access Ganon.
Yeah, true. And I feel like the likelihood of you being an HMGC where you don't have a glove at all is pretty rare.
I don't know, I might do it just to avoid that bomb clip. I find that one annoying, the one by the Link's House portal. Like, I don't usually have trouble with bomb clips, but just that particular one, it gets on my nerves sometimes.
Oh yeah, where was the silvers? It said Light World.
Bombos tablet.
Okay, yeah, the one check I just orphaned and just decided to stop fire with it. Just hope it's nothing strategy.
So, let me see. On this Beckett here, looks like your next opponent is going to be
Yamachu.
Gamachu. Oh, that will be quite a matchup.
Yeah! He's #1 seed, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
I don't actually know. Oh, yes. Yeah, it says that's what the numbers are for. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good luck to you. And also, let's get our GGs in chat for checks. Finishing within an official time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 15 seconds.
So let's see, that means Chex gets to go to...
Oh,
Nobly
GG.
or OLF. Oh, GG's Chex. Yeah, it looked like it was just the way I routed, I had hook shot before going up the mountain, so naturally I'm just gonna do Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb, because I have hook shot, I can just do both these checks pretty quick. And
Yeah, I wrote that down instead of doing it. So
Oh, no.
instead, I did all of the crystals and 2 pendants before doing that.
I mean, it's fair. It's the one-off checks.
I
just happened to do it before committing to any crystals, so I didn't have a whole lot on my table. I mean, I had been Pearl and Dark with Access, obviously.
What was your go mode?
Oh,
Samarian?
So yeah, Samarian GD.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't have the bow yet, but you just decided you were going to do it anyway. So Bread
Yeah.
saved and quit after getting the big key in GT, and then,
Yeah.
unfortunately for you, the bow was just on the way, so he didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have just mimic clipped anyway. But, you know, hey, I might just spike a bow on my path to GT, just make it a little quicker, and it just so happened to work out that way.
Yeah, I didn't really think that the fire rod would be deep in this seed, but I just had so much to do. I didn't know how much of Sphere 1 to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
and
this
then
is
just
kind of
kept
like
picking the wrong
similar to
thing.
this is kind of similar to like yesterday's seed, where you kind of just have almost everything in the first like 20 minutes. I was like, what do you
Yeah.
want to do? I don't know. Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think what you were doing made sense, Chex. Like, going to pod, it was like your last dense area left, and yeah, doing those like 1 or 2 off of overworld checks, definitely, it's not super appealing. So, I mean, the things you were doing made sense, so it just kind of was unfortunate.
Yeah. When I saw Fire Rod, I didn't think I considered not after Eastern. I considered not doing King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge at all, but there's just so fast. There's like no reason not to. And then after I found them, I kind of realized I lost, with the only possible exception if Bread made the same exact mistakes I did and went to Swamp and Escape, which I did not. So I was feeling okay enough that I didn't go to Escape or Swamp. So
Yeah, we had
that's about it.
no visits to our uncle today.
Yeah, that makes sense. I thought about doing an uncle route, just for fun, but I never did. Maybe next series.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily catch someone off guard because I mean, Uncle's not that out of the way for 2 checks.
Yeah.
So it's just, oh, you might just spike the go mode. It's right there. That's partially why I like to start it with Saha's Closet now. Because it's just 3 items that is slightly awkward to route on its own. But, oh well. You just get them at the very start of the
Especially in
seed.
a pendant Eastern seed as well.
I do often go to Saha, but I haven't in the last few races. And yeah, that could have been another Fire Rod location that would have lost me the race as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do at the very start of HMG.
Yeah. Yeah, the hookshot was pretty cool. I went to Kakariko before going to the mountain this time, just
Same.
because I felt like it.
That was my reasoning too.
It's because I often do a lumberjack DMA, but didn't this time. And it just changed my routing.
Mm-hmm. I still lumberjack DMA, but that was just because I went to Saw's Closet with $300 and a bunch of bombs. I was like, oh, I'll just go to Kakariko and then I'll do the forest up into the mountain later. So then having hookshot before going up the mountain was very cool, very convenient.
Yeah, and then there was, I think what changed my mind more than anything to miss King's Tomb was to get the hammer. Because then I started thinking Thieves Town, GT. And so I just went on my own tangent for the whole seed.
I mean, yeah, like I said, you have pretty much almost everything doing that kind of the general openers for HMG. The world is kind of your oyster at that point.
Yep.
Well, fortunately, this is not over for you, Chex. You still, get to fight in the lower bracket, and your next opponent is going to be the winner of Obscure Lifeform versus Nobly.
Wow. All right, that's great.
And
I'm
as I
looking
was saying
forward to
before,
watching those and seeing the outcome. Thanks so much for commentating, JD. And fun to race you, Brett.
Yeah, it was great. Always a pleasure to race you.
Thanks for our unknown restreamer setup helper there. They chose to remain anonymous, but we thank them. I didn't do any cropping or anything like that, so somebody did.
Thank you, somebody.
And not to be confused with someone.
Important
True.
distinction.
Anyways, yes, thanks to both of you for playing, and congrats again to Bread-kun, who will be facing Gamachu at some point in the future. If you guys don't have anything else to say, I'll close this out. And there is another race that is going on right now.